Hi, Leo. Welcome to your weekly love reading. I hope you're doing well. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest. So let's see what Spirit wants you to know, Leo. So we have the Three of Swords, the Eight of Swords, the Knight of Coins, the Emperor, the Star, Eight of Coins, Ten of Coins, Five of Cups, the Knight of Swords, and we have the Ten of Swords. So, the Ten of Swords has to do with sometimes endings. It doesn't mean that a relationship's going to come to an end, unless you know that has definitely happened for you. But the Ten of Swords is just a message that you're free to move on. It's not going to get any worse. And it can sometimes mean that you've been through a betrayal and you're just finding it hard to trust. So the Three of Swords does mean that you know your heart has been broken. Again, referring back to this card, it could be that you're having trouble trusting again. Maybe this heartache is kind of tattooed on you, so to speak. You feel like you can't trust and you feel like you can't move on. Again, the energy that is kind of strong around you, you can't trust and you're having trouble letting go of the past. The Three of Swords can also mean that there could be, for those of you who are already coupled, misunderstandings, arguments, and yes, for some it can mean a breakup. But just don't freak out. It doesn't mean that that's going to happen to you. Being the first card, I feel like for some of you, you're coming into the week with this energy. Someone either broke up with you, someone broke your heart, or you've had a lot of conflict with your partner, or just kind of trouble, like you're having trouble like understanding each other, maybe intellectually, because this is the suit of air, which represents your thoughts. So I feel like, this is the energy of feeling restricted. You feel like your hands are tied behind your back. You feel like you can't do anything about your situation. You can just kind of, watch it unfold, and you feel like you're completely powerless. And, for some of you, it may have something to do with what's going on here. You feel like your heart was broken, or a partner has left you and you feel kind of trapped in that energy, or you feel trapped in the conflict that you're having with your partner. Remember that your theme here, the Ten of Swords, is advising you to move on. Let it go. You're not trapped. So you feel like you're trapped in heartache. You're not really trapped, but your thoughts are keeping you there. Or if you feel like you're trapped in a negative phase in your relationship, the Ten of Swords is telling you that you've already been through the worst and it's time for you guys to move on. But I'm especially getting for those who are single. They don't want you holding on to any past resentments or grudges to anyone who has left your life or broken your heart, because it's going to keep you tied to them energetically, is what I'm getting. You have to be completely free in order for a new partner to find you. Now, the next card is the Knight of Coins. And this can be, someone who is an earth sign who's coming into your life, but the knights represent kind of change and movement. This card means, it's not like the Knight of Swords, which is not here. The Knight of Swords actually, the Knight of Swords is here, but down here. And I feel like that's significant. The Knight of Swords means that you're making gradual kind of progress on your journey. Since this is a love reading, and the messages that you have up here about heartache and being stuck, whether you're in a relationship or single, this is telling you to not be discouraged because you're making progress. You're moving along. But remember to not, it's important, I feel like they're saying it's important for you to not feel like you're stuck. Because if you really feel that you're stuck or that you can't move on without having so-and-so in your life, then you really will be stuck. But this card also represents new people and new experiences. So again, don't feel that you're stuck, in your heartache and lost if you have lost a partner, because this represents you meeting new people coming into your life, dating, fun. But it can also mean for those who are together that you're going to be making progress as far as, maybe a negative cycle that you have been in. Again, you have been through the worst. Okay, so over here is the Emperor. So for those who are single, um, this card, it does represent like someone who's older. It does mean, that they are significantly older than you, but they are just older than you. They may also be very, stable and grounded and even maybe financially well off or just very financially secure. This could be, why they're asking some of you, like, don't dwell if somebody has left your life and you just kind of feel stuck in the energy. This person is just kind of waiting to come into your life. The Emperor is very much, a stable relationship, a firm foundation. And it came right after the Knight of Coins, which, like I said, that represents new people and new experiences. It's like this Emperor wants to come into your life for those who are single, as long as you realize that it's time to move on. For those who are in relationships, this just means more stability. This just means that you may have come into the week, like I said, with this difficult energy of the Three of Swords. Maybe you have taken some time apart from your partner. But the Emperor means that all will be well again, that you will have more stability in your relationship, in your family, in your life. And it also represents a lot of abundance. Now, the next card that you have is a great one. You have the Star. So, this card represents your hopes and wishes, and it is a major arcana. I just realized next to another major arcana. So again, the Star is telling you that what you most want to see in your love life right now can manifest for you. It's right here, but there are like all these conditions for you. Like, you can have your hopes and wishes if you leave the past in the past, if you stop referring to yourself as stuck, if you keep dwelling on a loss. There's someone new that wants to come into your life. For those who have been through a breakup, for those who have gone through a negative phase, you can relax because you've been through the worst. It may take some time, but they're telling you that you will have your wish. Whatever this is, if it's a new partner, if it's someone from the past coming back into your life, if it's for your highest good, they will return. Or it could be, saving your marriage or your relationship. There's more stability here. And also, we have a similar message right here that's aligned with the Knight of Coins, which, like I said, this is gradual progress. You have the Eight of Coins. And the Eight of Coins, it represents work. And I feel like you may not see everything fixed for you this week. I feel like you will be kind of working either on your love life if you're single, or you're going to be working on a relationship. It's going to take a lot of time and effort for both of you to really kind of heal everything and fix everything. But again, like they want me to stress, you have been through the worst. So they want you to relax and be more positive and uplifting. This just means that, both people have to do some work on the relationship, not just one person. Two people have to be committed. If both people are committed to the relationship, again, your hopes and wishes will manifest. You will have more stability and abundance. For those who are single, you may just need to put in more work as far as trusting that the right person is out there for you, and maybe putting yourself out there, or even working on yourself, letting go of things from the past or people from the past. And you also have the Ten of Coins. So this is important for those who are single, because the Ten of Coins represent marriage and children and stability. And look how it's lined up here with the Emperor, which, like I said, also represents stability and abundance. And it's even lined up with the Three of Swords. So even those, someone may have broken your heart and have left you, marriage is still, lined up here for you. Maybe that person needed to leave your life so that the right person could come in. I feel like this is a really important message for singles. Don't dwell on this loss, because someone much better, much more stable, who really cares about you is here. This could be your life partner and children and stability. This is, financial abundance. Like I said, the Emperor can be someone who is financially stable. So I feel like this is important for singles, but even for those who are already married, it just means that your marriage is here to stay. Or those who are dating, marriage is still a possibility for you, even if you have been through something really difficult. I just keep getting, two people together. When I look at this card, it's almost like you're not, those who are already coupled, like you're not going anywhere. It's like you're solid. Now, the next card is the Five of Cups. The Three of Swords, like I said, it could be that somebody has broken your heart. And here it is, the Five of Cups. This means that you're in a lot of pain emotionally because somebody has broken your heart. You're disappointed, something didn't work out. So it's here twice. And the fact that, one is the first card and then it appears again over here towards the bottom of the reading, I feel like some people may choose to continue to dwell on this. The Five of Cups, it does mean, that you keep dwelling on a loss, crying over spilt milk. You're just in so much pain that you keep thinking and focusing on what you lost, what has been taken from you, which I feel, that based on what I see here, that is exactly what you should not be doing. This is exactly what you should not be doing. Remember, the theme for this week is the Ten of Swords, which means you've been through the worst and it's time to move on. With the Ten of Swords, you can't keep lying there with 10 swords in your back, thinking how you were betrayed or you were abandoned or you were left at the altar. Whatever it is, the 10 means you have to let go. After a 10 is a new beginning, an ace. But I feel like someone, finds it really hard to let go, and it's just kind of in a lot of pain. But again, you have the 10 of coins here, which is a symbol, this is marriage, children, and stability. So while you're focusing on the past, whether it's like someone who left your life or like arguments with a partner where maybe you're having trouble trusting them or forgiving them, while you're focusing on that, you could be passing up this opportunity for you to be happy, either with someone new or fixing your relationship. Now, the final card that I have for you is this one, and it's the Knight of Swords. This for me, this represents kind of impulsive thoughts, impulsive decisions. I'm getting kind of different messages. I feel because you're in pain, like be careful what decisions you make. Be careful that you don't make a decision that you wish you could take back. And for some of you, this might be that the person that you've been kind of focusing on that broke your heart returns because you're still so hurt and you feel so betrayed, stabbed in the back. This energy, the Three of Swords, that you may kind of be like, no, I'm not going to forgive you. Get out of my life. When, there's this possibility here for marriage. That's that's one message I'm getting. But, I also feel like for those who are already, married or in a relationship, I feel like they want you just kind of like letting go. The Knight of Swords, like I said, this represents impulsive thoughts and actions, and it represents a lot of things kind of happening. You're not bored when the Knight of Swords comes up. So I feel like for those of you that have been dealing with a troubled marriage or a relationship, like something comes up, like your partner comes up with ideas to heal the relationship, to fix the relationship, or it could even be you. Like you might want to try counseling, or someone may even suggest some time apart. Whatever it is, I'm getting that don't try to shoot down on this idea because this is actually going to be helpful to you. And yeah, again, the Eight of Swords, somebody feels trapped and restricted, like hands tied behind my back. I can't do anything about what's going on in my life. And it's lined up, this difficult card is lined up with this one again, dealing, really focusing on a loss and pain and just disappointment that something didn't happen, when look what's right in the middle of these two cards. So I even feel like for some of you, what happens this week is not what it seems, and they really want you to like take that in. If someone has left after your life, it's because someone else is coming in. If there, this distance between you and a partner, maybe you need that distance to grow, as a couple. But it's just like what they want me to tell you is that your hopes and wishes have not been forgotten. They've not been ignored. They're still here. But in some way, like you're keeping yourself trapped in a lot of, with a lot of things from the past or emotional pain. When again, it's your time to move on. You're finally ready to move on. Okay, so you have Strength, Temperance, and your final card is the Five of Wands. And you have the Nine of Swords. So this really just kind of, confirm what we've seen over here. Don't be consumed by fear. Again, this is interesting. Nine of Swords, 10 of Swords. Like I said, this is endings and kind of refusing to kind of accept that something ended, or really kind of dwelling on something that happened to you, like a betrayal or having lost someone. You can't move on. You're afraid to move on. And this energy here is the energy of being really nervous and a lot of tension and anxiety, and you're fearing the worst. And I kind of see that all over this reading. But, here you have strength. So this card is telling you that this week, like, you have to be really brave. And I can see why, you know, seeing everything that's going on here, it's like, I don't know, I feel like for those who are coupled, like this is like one more challenge that you have to get, you know, kind of a bump you have to go over before you finally, you know, it's clear sailing. You have to be really strong and even compassionate. Some of you have to be really compassionate, either with your partner or with yourself. Because when this card comes up, either someone's pushing your buttons and trying to get you to kind of act out from your ego, or you're just kind of really agitated. And you know, I see that in this reading, especially here with the Nine of Swords. You might be agitated. And I did mention down here, for those who are single, maybe you have someone from the past coming back into your life. You may want to, you know, do something impulsive and not let them back into your life again. Make sure whatever decision you're making are coming from your higher self, not from your ego. That's the message of this card. Now here, Temperance. Again, being very forgiving and compassionate, not doing anything crazy that you wish you could take back. You know, and that's what I was getting down here, you know, as far as like maybe telling somebody from the past, you know, I don't accept your apology, or I don't want you back. Maybe there's a partner who needed some space because, you know, you started off with the Three of Swords. Don't do anything extreme. For those who are single, you know, that there may be fears. I mean, right here and right here, there could be fears. And this is telling you, don't close yourself off from allowing someone new into your life. This is a major arcana, so this is, you know, kind of like an exclamation mark from the universe. Don't do anything that you can't take back. And it could be that you meet someone, you know, really kind of special this week. And I did see that in this reading for those who are single, the Knight of Coins and the Emperor. You know, don't kind of dismiss someone without really knowing them. That's the message of temp. Just don't do anything extreme. And you have the Five of Wands as well. So, you know, this definitely makes sense with, especially with Strength, because they are, you know, very similar, except that this is a major arcana. This is kind of like a struggle either with someone else's ego or with your own. And the Five of Wands is also the same thing. It's like the same meaning. There's a struggle, there's fighting. And this is the energy that you came in with. So I don't know, some of you, you know, you may have come into the week, like I said, with heartache. Maybe somebody, you know, left your life in a last week. There could also still be some, you know, some bickering, trying to kind of work things out. Remember, you're supposed to be acting from your higher self, not from your ego. For those who are single, again, it could just be that, you know, you're kind of fighting yourself. There's a struggle. It's like you want to have someone new in your life, but you don't want to relive the past. You're afraid. There's all this anxiety. Remember, don't do anything extreme. But, you know, here, you know, right at the center of the reading are your hopes and wishes. So whatever that wish is, I feel like you can see this manifest this week. Okay, Leo, I will end the reading here. I hope you enjoyed it. Much love and bless.